Hey, so it's Tuesday, the 12th, and I said I would try and get one of these done whenever I had the opportunity, and I happened to have the opportunity once I got home, so I was like, let's go all for it. As a lot of you know, either from my posts or from a bunch of other posts, it is Suicide Prevention Week. And while this topic is generally something I don't like to talk about, I just really desperately wanted to get it out there that this is a serious issue and it's something it really shouldn't be considered, but in our society today it is. And I just wanted to share a few personal experiences. Not my own, but instances where I've helped out because you're not alone out there. Someone is there willing to help you. So I just wanted to share those stories. I have two of them. And while it may be lengthy, it's going to be unscripted, unedited, and you can watch what you want of it. Um, so I'll just get started with this. My first story has to do with a friend of mine that I knew in 7th and 8th grade. Um, I switched schools around a lot, so I made a bunch of friends depending on what year I was in and what school I was in. But anyway, I knew him in 7th and 8th grade, and we never really talked that much. He was one of those people that I guess had his small group of friends, but no one really conversed with them. He I don't know how to explain it really well. He just, didn't fit in, although he did fit in. It was kind of strange, but I'd talk to him every once in a while, and we were mild acquaintances. Maybe you could call us friends. I like to be friends with everyone, so yeah, I'd call us friends. Um, Once we moved into high school, we went our separate ways. He went to an all boys private high school, and I went to public school because it was cheaper and it was something my family could afford. Um, and we didn't talk that often. Well, my sophomore year, I'm now a senior, this was about 2 years ago, um, I get a Facebook message from him, and he says, I really need to talk to you. It doesn't have to be in person. I'm kind of scared to say it in person, but I just want to have a serious conversation with someone. And I said, that's fine, I'm here, is something wrong? And he came to me and said, I've been thinking about suicide lately. It was honestly the most surprising thing I'd ever heard because even though I was a sophomore, I was still really innocent when it came to the topic. I had only just dealt with my first death ever, actually, second death, sorry, with my grandfather. And hearing this thing about someone wanting to kill themselves, it was just really shocking. And I didn't know what to do. And I am sometimes one of those people that others come to for advice, and I can't do much other than offer really cliche phrases and stuff because I honestly don't know how to help most of the time. So I told him, drop the thought. I told him it's not worth it. There are people there for you. I just gave him as many things as I could possibly think of. All the things that I had um, been going over in my health class, actually, not even like that week. We had been learning about suicide and the warning signs and everything, and having it actually happen was really surprising. So I told him all of those things, and he said he had only just thought about it, and it was really early on. And that made me feel better because with it being really early on, you might not want to do something right away. So there is still time. Um, so I tried to ask him what was wrong, and he would give me very vague reasons, and how he was done. He didn't really want to go on anymore, and um, I really couldn't do anything to help him. We were far away from each other. I couldn't see him in person and try and give him comfort. So I told him he needs to tell someone about it. And of course, if you're thinking of suicide and someone tells you to go talk to someone face to face, you're going to say no. You're not going to want to admit that to someone. It is shameful. It is very embarrassing sometimes. And he wouldn't do it. And he said, "Please keep it private." Well, if you've had those health classes where they talk about suicide, they always tell you, don't keep it to yourself. You need to tell someone. So I took it to my health teacher without him knowing. I told my health teacher, who was very, very supportive of it. He said he wouldn't ask for names. He wouldn't ask where my friend went to school. He just wanted to know what was happening as it happened when I had conversations with him to go immediately to my teacher. So as things progressed, that's what I did. But a few weeks into it, it started to get a bit worse. So I had told my friend that I had talked to my teacher about it a little bit, without mentioning names, without mentioning the school. But I told my friend that if he didn't get the help himself soon, then I'd be forced to actually tell my teacher where he went, who his counselor was, and everything. And it got to the point where I had to do it. And if you're that person who's trying to talk someone out of suicide, as much as they may resent you for a little bit, for telling on them or tattletaling or whatever, it's really helpful. It's a really good feeling to know that you've actually helped. I went to my teacher. I told him the kid's name, where the kid went to school. He and my teacher that afternoon had pulled up their school website, found a counselor, emailed them, told them, this so-and-so student has been having thoughts of suicide. Please pull him out of class and talk to him for a little bit. Now, 2 years later, I haven't spoken to that friend very often. He messaged me on Facebook a while ago asking if it was still hard for me to talk to him because he wasn't getting the help. So, of course, I was getting frustrated because I had the thoughts of my own a long time ago, and I'm back on my feet, and I was thinking, it's really crazy that other people are thinking of this. So I distanced myself from him, and I don't know, I should probably check up on him again. It's always good to check up on people who have had thoughts in the past, to make sure they're doing okay. So I should probably do that. But the fact that I helped him and the fact that he's now back on his feet just goes to show. And I really wish I could have him here, but this was a last minute decision, and I don't have that kind of thing. But I'm sure he'd say something. And my second story, I will try and keep it much shorter, is about a friend of mine who actually attempted suicide, without anyone knowing. He had been bullied. This goes out to the lesbian gay community because he had been bullied for most of his life, ever since he honestly came out, and openly admitted that he was gay. He had been bullied constantly, except he was one of the strongest persons, people that I ever know. Sorry. And he took it as if it were nothing, and he'd go on and he'd be the happiest person in the world. But I guess one time it just got to him too much. His family had moved to another state, and he was settled in, and we were talking a lot just because I missed him a whole buttloads amount, of course. But he told me he was doing fine, everything was hunky-dory and great, and he was adjusting really well, and people were nice and supportive, and I guess now it might have been a lie. A couple weeks later, I haven't talked to him in a while, and I'm kind of wondering why. We're really close friends, so not getting a message was kind of strange. But I eventually got a phone call from his cell phone, but it was his parents, and they had told me he had attempted suicide, and he was in the hospital, and they had got to him in time, and he was going to be okay. Well, I started flipping out. I wasn't ready to hear that kind of news, and it was scary, you know? You're thinking of committing suicide and you actually do it and you succeed. There are going to be a lot of people who honestly worry about you. It's not worth it. And I know I sound like I'm preaching these words. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But as much as I preach, it's true. Um, my that friend, he's out of the hospital. He's in therapy. He's doing fantastic as far as I'm concerned right now. Um, once once he attempted, people got the message that bullying is not right. And when I say that, I don't mean go and attempt suicide to get the message across. That's not the right way of going about it. It's scary, and if you don't get help in time, it might be too late. And um, it's just, I'm gonna say it again. It's not worth it. Um, the second story, that friend, he regrets doing it. If you listen to the documentaries of people who jump off like bridges and stuff and survive, and they say halfway down they wish they hadn't done it. They wish that they hadn't jumped. It's like that little note goes off in your brain that says, what did I just do? And you stop instantly and you don't want to do it. And that's when you can get help, you can get better. So those are my stories. Take them as you want. If they're kind of confusing, I'm sorry. This was all kind of on the spot. But please, please just be careful. Think everything through. Don't jump to conclusions, and be very careful with your actions. Know that there is always someone you can go to for help. Even I'm there. If you're a complete stranger to me, if you're someone on some other side of the world, or you found this somewhere on the internet, and you've been thinking of suicide, come to me. I don't know who you are. I cannot judge you. I will give you as much encouragement as I can. And really, that's sometimes all a person needs to just start feeling better. If you are some random person watching this video, smile at someone tomorrow. Say hi. Ask them how their day is. Just be there for them. Even if they're a complete stranger, just say, hi, how you doing? Hope your day's going great. That's all it takes. Just need to put that smile on someone's face. So, those are my stories, and I hope and pray that things get better. I love you. And there goes my phone. Bye!